And in the upper right, we see the big favorite, probably for this entire tournament. This is Happy. And quite a newcomer in the bottom right for the grand nation of France. It is KraV. Have fun with the Undead Mirror, boys.
All right, then. Let's get into this. Happy in the top right. We know what he's going to be doing. KraV, what's he going to pull out here? He is going Cryptlord. I was expecting this. You know, when Esl was playing as Happy here, he said, okay, AZ is too bad for Cryptlord. I'm going to try to hang on with a DK Fiend style, with a Naga, if I remember right, second hero.
Yeah.
But KraV, he doesn't like that. He always plays Cryptlord. So he's going to try to be a little imaginative here and try to make this hero work on AZ, where it's probably the hardest out of all the maps.
I think even if he liked Death Knight, like if he saw that game, he's like, hell no, I'm not playing Standard against Happy. That's just not happening. Because when Esl did that, just Happy looked so incredible. So many clutch moments. He always knows when to use the Nova against the Fiends at the perfect time. It feels like you have to do something special against him. Like playing Standard is almost not an option. It's just too damn good.
How much do you think mentality goes into this? Like, we all know how good Happy's micro is. Some of the best in the world, maybe the best in the world. These other players, not just undeads, but I guess especially undeads, is that a big mental downside? That do they all think to themselves, well, I can't out-micro him anyways, so I can't go into a straight-up game?
I hope they don't. I mean, obviously, it would be pretty bad. You can't control how Happy he's going to play because he's super consistent and he's always going to play extremely well. But you need to make sure that you're very strong yourself mentally and that you can just play your best as well. Actually, he forces a coil on the Acolyte here. Very nicely done with the Ghoul. KraV going to be able to get out. He's trying to sneak on the other side of the map to creep some of the smaller camps of Happy. I mean, KraV obviously has a very specific game plan here, and I think it's going to be creeping small camps maybe here and there. Oh no, he's just going straight for the Acolytes. With not just the Creep Lord, but he's sending ghouls on the bottom right-hand side as well.
Yeah, Happy adjusts his build here. It's not just the normal Ted Fiend build with a quick tech before the Fiend, but he goes Fiend and next Ziggurat, getting ready for pressure. And pressure is exactly what we're seeing. And a surround almost on the Creep Lord. I thought that was close, but just barely wiggles out right there. Beetles are annoying in the back. But it's only level 1 Beetles, not level 2 where they are really strong. A tower is coming up. KraV is not yet teching behind this, but will soon start that tech, I believe. So far, no Acolytes have died. Oh, one dies over here, but that's the Scout Acolyte. That one can afford to be lost. And that's the only experience so far for the Crypt Lord. 25 experience only. Normally, he wants to get to level 3 fast, but that isn't happening here so far.
Yeah, this is the kind of rush that if you do it against anybody else than Happy, you're going to be able to get in some damage here and there. Like maybe kill 2, 3 Acolytes, maybe 1 Ghoul. You do it against Happy and you kill 1 Acolyte, and that's a scouting Acolyte. He doesn't even care. KraV lost a bunch of Beetles.
Forces are under attack.
I think he lost 1 or 2 Ghouls, and yeah, he lost his scouting Acolyte as well. He was in there distributing headbutts left and right, and he's not really achieving much. And like, what does he really expect to achieve now that Happy is fully ready? He still hasn't teched. Happy is really respecting this.
He's going for more and more Fiends.
KraV tried to creep on the other side. Look at this. His Ghouls got smashed, and everything's low on hit points. Oh, the lightning shield!
Oh, the tower! Oh, was it the lightning shield?
No, the lightning shield walked past because the wizard
denied
got
the
thrown.
experience.
Oh my god.
That hurts.
Disaster. You know, Happy, we always say, like, you know, he's a robot, like, he doesn't really need to adapt and stuff. I feel like we almost don't give him enough credits. He's a pretty damn smart AI, if he is one, because, like, against KraV, you know what's coming. You know it's going to be Creep Lord a lot of the time. He scouts for it, sees it coming, delays his tech, just plays exactly as you need to, and make sure that he doesn't underestimate a very serious challenger here in KraV.
Yeah, and the Crypt Lord, we have seen him dominate so many matches in the past. If he gets to 3 quickly, but he's still stuck on level 1. Gets a Fiends around here, though. Can Happy magically get out of this one? It's tough. But if he loses this one, he's going to make sure that KraV is also losing units for it, and he actually saves the Fiend, which looked like a surefire kill right there. And KraV is kind of getting bodied here so far.
Ooh, he gets
the
with the round.
DK again. All right.
Can he force a
But
TP?
the counter block with the Fiend. Jesus Christ.
That would have been a TP here for like 99% of players as well. Like Happy is just so crafty with his small micro moves. And that's what makes a world of difference in so many of these situations. Like you're trying to surround him, he's moving the Fiends perfectly.
And he's also, like, not only is he pulling them back properly, but he's also, like, properly not moving them when they don't need to be moved. I think this is a lot of Happy strength that sometimes doesn't get noticed. He only micros away when he needs to micro away, and the rest of the army stands still and still shoots and does damage. Especially in the late game with the Lich. It's something you can pay close attention to. So far, a lot of skeletons have died, on both sides, I guess, and beetles and ghouls on KraV's side. Happy has lost nothing outside of HP on his DK and Fiends. We're gonna take a quick look at the techs here. Tier 2 is finishing for Happy soon. Again, he gets out of that surround somehow. And the Script Lord, still no level 2. Still so far away from the beetles.
And 2 more ghouls died. This is just not working out for KraV. It feels like Happy's Fiends are more slippery than other Undead's Fiends. Like they always somehow get out through the little area where they can somehow do that, and it's just so fluid with the micro. And now Dark Ranger is gonna have to rejoin this position.
Oh.
So even though there is no expo, he still went Dark Ranger for extra skeletons. He's gonna keep this Murloc camp perfect to accumulate some extra skeletons, and then he might just push and try and force like another bad fight out of KraV.
Interesting choice there by Happy. As you said, like against expansion, to pressure it right away, we see this a ton. But here, in this game, Happy could have certainly afforded to go Lich, and it wouldn't have hurt him too much. But here can keep up the pressure, and this entire game plan for Happy is, don't let him get kills. Don't give him any experience, give him nothing for free, and keep pressure on him, because a low-level Crypt Lord is barely any threat.
It's so rare to see a Crypt Lord get shut down this hard, but in this game, that's exactly what's happening. Oh, the coil misses on the Acolyte, so that's one Acolyte down. As tier 3 is 80%. Another one is gonna go down, so that's 2 less. And KraV still cannot really engage. There's just so many Fiends for Happy.
DK this time surrounded, but again he slips out. Again he had the counter surround with the skeleton. And yeah, this is GG after 8 minutes. And this was not too soon, my friends. This was just complete destruction by Happy.
So now he really feels... I mean, KraV really knows how Kasparov felt when playing against the AI. Helpless.
Holy smokes, that was fast, guys. That was by far the fastest game of the day. And with that, of course, on the entire tournament. What went wrong?
Crypt Lord, a hard map to begin with. AZ, a hard map for Crypt Lord to begin with. He thought Happy was going to be too aggressive. So he was convinced that he couldn't go creeping. Happy was just going to disrupt it. So his idea instead was to be aggressive. But Happy, as Todd correctly pointed out, just defended that perfectly, lost basically nothing, gave up only 25 experience in that whole push. He adjusted smartly, going for a later tech, getting ready for this possibility, respecting KraV as well with that, and just was always in perfect control of that game.
So, do you have an idea what could KraV do now? Of course, it's gonna be a different map, a way different map.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to play better maps now for KraV to try and expand on. I think we're headed to Northern Island, and if there were to be a third map, I think that's Last Refuge. So it's totally different maps. But if I was KraV, what I'd be thinking is, you need to land the surrounds. There's just no way around it. If you're going to play that style and the opponent is in your base with Fiends, you need to land the surrounds correctly and not let the units get out. Be it on the Death Knight or Fiends. Like we said, Happy keeps slipping out of there. And this just keeps snowballing further and further in his favor. So just focus on the surround, make them happen. If you don't, you're screwed.
I mean, in the ESL Meisterschaft, we saw a couple of undead mirrors as well. So, Remo, there it felt like you have to go Crypt Lord or like crazy Lich stuff. But Happy shows that the standard is working nicely as well. Is that just because he's Happy?
Honestly, yes. If you just play if you are mortal and you don't have perfect micro all the time, it is so easy to just miss micro your skeletons and DK a little bit. The Crypt Lord gets too much, you get impale surrounded, and that's the early game loss right there. If you do it all perfectly, then he can abuse the Crypt Lord's weakness on level 1, and especially his low reach and mobility really well. But it is so hard to do. Crypt Lord on the highest level, definitely possible, but especially the counterplay potential gets more and more developed and what's the word I'm looking for? Discovered, the stronger the player is. And Happy, of course, the strongest.
All right. The game should start any second. Will it be the first 2-0 of the day of the tournament here at the DreamHack Summer Open? We'll see about that. Okay, we got the countdown. We load in to game number 2. As my colleagues correctly pointed out, it's going to be a whole different ball game. Amazonia, one of the worst expansion maps. Now Northern Isles, way better. KraV in his very first major tournament. Maybe it's a little bit about the nerves as well. The man who plays with a laptop, by the way. No external keyboard. Nothing. Just, he doesn't need the crazy gamer gear that's being advertised all over the place. Laptop is enough for him.
Well, he plays Crypt Lord, so a PlayStation controller probably would suffice.
Maybe Xbox
I expected
Connect?
something like this. Xbox Connect.
Yeah. Do some motions in front of the camera. Yeah.
One
this is
of the
gonna be
observers here, by the way, has a Pentium 2 or something.
Yeah, this seems like a new record.
Yeah. We're
This is
so
going to be the
ready.
true test for Happy. Like, disabling, preventing Crypt Lord on AZ, it's not very easy, but it's certainly doable. But on Northern Isles, it's going to be a lot harder.
All right, guys. With that, we are ready. We're in the game. And in the bottom left, you know him, the Emperor, the third best player in the world according to the Warcraft 3.elo info elo ranking. It's Happy. What the fuck? It's Happy. And in the upper right, his challenger. Does he have the nerves under control? Or will it be a quick 2-0? It's KraV.
Wait a second. Did KraV only kill a scouting acolyte last game?
Killed some skeletons.
Oh my god. So he didn't kill any actual units other than the scouting acolyte.
Correct.
Okay.
I know that
well,
feeling, dude. I've been there on ladder against Happy.
yeah, every time I meet him, yeah. You know, something very interesting about Happy is that back in the old days, you know, like many years ago, he was one of the very good players, but he wasn't the best. And then, as of late, in the last few years, he's one of the absolute best in the world, if not the best. At some point, for sure, he was one of the best. Like these days, I guess it's still left to be answered. He didn't play in the last WGL, but he's still very high up there. He's earned around $105,000 over his career, but it does feel like, you know, right now with having a circuit, he's winning every Open Cup. This number is going to keep on rising and rising, and it's probably not going to stop anytime soon. I don't see Happy stopping to be as dominant as he is. Maybe one or two players will start challenging him more, but he's just going to keep on winning.
Yeah, true. I agree with that. And I think I looked it up like a year ago before his WGL victory or something. Before his great run of WGL and shortly before that, he had like, I think 40k prize money or something. So he has been stacking up the builds a lot lately. And the ESL prize money, I imagine quite a bit of that will be going towards him. You brought up an interesting point as well, you know. Happy old school player. He was inactive for a long time, was playing StarCraft and stuff, came back at some point and was looking better and better, stronger and stronger. But there were a lot of European players who were strong in the past and then vanished and then came back and they did good again. And however, not in the same level of Happy. Why is that? That he is just exploring the new highs that nobody else can get to.
I think his experience in StarCraft probably helped him make some aspects of his game even better. And just it comes down to a lot of things, you know, motivation, dedication. Like sometimes you might be very dedicated to the game, but you're only telling yourself that. Like maybe you're not working hard enough. Like in his case, he plays every single day. I'm pretty sure he analyzes every game that he plays like pretty well. Like whenever he loses, and he's just consistently improving to a level where like his micro is almost unmatched in the whole scene.
A player's forces are under attack.
Yeah, I agree with that. Again, we see the modified build by Happy. Not only playing this modified build against a push kind of strategy, but also against the expansion. I think we also saw this in the ESL Cup, right? Delaying the tech, going for the Fiends faster, and the second Ziggurat, having more strength out on the field early to pressure the expansion from the Crypt Lord. And KraV isn't even going for the Expo. He's teching now. Creeping a big camp. Kind of fooled Happy a little bit. DK is wasting quite a bit of time now, and this is finally something going KraV's way. He's starting to work on a pretty big experience lead here.
Yeah, like the Death Knight finally killed a Beetle. Happy was fully expecting the Expo this whole time, so he stayed around it. But Crypt Lords, I almost want to say he's power creeping at this point. Like he's creeping super fast, finished the Tusker camp, and now he's headed to the bottom where I don't think Happy will be able to find him. Like, I mean, this is a big map with a lot of camps. And even a counter attack, I don't think necessarily would be very scary here if Happy was to go for it. KraV gets the scout on the other side and starts the camp at the bottom where he's going to get... Actually, he's going to have to get rid of one of his items because he's going to get 2 here.
Yeah, rare mistake by Happy. So first, the misread, which isn't necessarily a mistake. He just expected that KraV was going to be expanding, but he didn't scout properly. The DK has the highest movement speed in this entire game at the moment. So normally with that, plus skeletons, you should be pretty well aware of what your opponent is doing, but here he lost track for a little bit, and this now allows the Crypt Lord to get level 3 here. He can, of course, creep very well if he's left alone. And that is a monumental experience lead.
Level 3 against barely any experience on the Death Knights. Like, those impels are going to be very scary. He got Rejuvenation Potion. So he's almost going to get back to full mana there. So that's going to be quite a few impels that he can work with. He has Beetles level 2. KraV is headed for the Acolytes here. He wants blood.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff running towards this undead main. There's one narrow but no Spirit Tower. Tech is only around halfway through. DK in the middle found the heal wards. Well, okay, I guess. I think he's gonna have to TP out here. He's attacking the Necropolis? What?
He's taking over.
No way.
Wait, is he actually gonna go for it? Is he serious about this? Yes! The Acolytes come up the line. Not all the Beetles were attacking the main base. I think he was trying to force the Acolytes to repair. He hasn't used any Impel yet. Ooh, he could have landed a big Impel earlier on the Acolytes. But yeah, now he's still trying to work on them, trying to trap some of these in between the buildings. But Happy is still so slippery, even inside of his base, even where he's supposed to be trapped.
Only one Acolyte went down so far. It's not the most painful here. Yes, some lost mining time, certainly, but not the absolute worst. Oh, another Acolyte goes down. Coil actually a little too late. Slight mistake there again by Happy. The Russian looking mortal on map 2.
Yeah, he killed 2 Acolytes, which is 1 more than he did last game. And there was no scouting backup Acolyte here, so he's going to force Happy to remake those immediately as he reaches tier 2. And Happy's economy took a big hit here for sure. Cannot afford second hero immediately. In the meantime, KraV takes to tier 3, gets Death Knight second, gets a Slaughterhouse. KraV in the driver's seat here. He's going to be able to easily keep on creeping with thanks to Beetles level 2, but on the other side, we got a Death Knight that's about to get level 3, but Happy had to use a very important town portal here, which he can't replace with his wrecked economy.
Yeah, sure. It's going to be very expensive here. We're going to see the gold deficit. 10,100 against like 9,600. That's 500 gold plus the lost Acolyte. So it's like 600 plus damage towards the economy, gold-wise. Plus the TP. So really good early game for KraV. Can he also transition well now into the late game? What's he going for? Fiends? Statues? Okay, moving into a normal army. Nothing super cheesy, like, I don't know, mass Necros or whatever. And it's a Dark Ranger second again by Happy.
Yeah, he's making it really hard for KraV to take any engagement. KraV still... Oh, he's hesitant. He almost went for it. He's gonna lose that 1 ghoul here. I think it's okay, like, to disengage here. His tech is so much quicker if he's able to read into that properly. And he has a Beetle burrowed inside of Happy's main. If you see tier 2 in Happy's main base here, and you're KraV, you'd say, well, all I gotta do is make a Lich, buy an Orb, and then I'm quite a bit ahead in this game, because then your Fiends are gonna die very quickly, and they're the only strength that you have in your army.
Happy's also doing a good job here, creeping aggressively. What KraV would love to do is just creep up a little bit now, get the aura, get Crypt Lord level 4, wait for the Lich and Frenzy, and then fight. But there's not too many easy camps. In fact, the DK Illusion was scouting, so Happy always knows what's up. I kind of expected KraV to go to the lab. That seems to be the wisest choice, the safest choice. But he's... seems to be wasting a little bit of time in the middle of the map right now. Not really doing much of anything.
I think Happy is doing this really well, because he's staying in the center of the map, so if KraV would go anywhere, he would get creepjacked. And Happy says, well, you don't have much of an army, obviously you don't want to fight, because ghouls can't do anything against this. So he starts a camp himself, thanks to his massive amount of Fiends here. KraV cannot really do much to contest this. Obviously he has Skull and Impel to try and maybe steal something, but he might want to preserve mana as well. Lich is on the way though. Ghoul Frenzy is on the way, and as soon as that comes out, he's going to buy Orb, and then his fighting potential is going to be exponentially bigger here.
How many ghouls does he have? 5? Okay, that's a decent number. It's not that impressive.
He has one.
Nice thing about getting Dark Ranger second also is that you're going to be guaranteed to have her level 2, which means you have a silence to start off the fight.
Yeah. But the Lich being so much earlier. The Beetles in the main base catch a statue. Wow. It's very rare to get a surround against Happy, but KraV got it. And he killed that statue before it could even get repaired. He cancels one of the Ziggurats. What a sick move here.
That's the strength of level 2 Beetles right here. There's one tower to deal with them, but they take a bit of damage, they burrow. And even going back here now with the hero and using dust doesn't even feel like it's worth it. It's just such a big waste of time. So Happy's going to keep on creeping instead. And he's going to get level 4 DK, and with that the level 2 aura, which further enhances its crazy strong micro.
He already remade 4 Beetles in the bottom right, and because he has Orb, KraV knows that he can do this camp very easily here. Look at this. The Magnator dies super fast. I like the Blight. You know, it's so cheap. I was wondering why we don't see that being bought more often and used. I mean, for a camp, it seems a little overkill here because he has a statue, but even in fights sometimes.
Also expand, right? Yeah, he's bringing an Acolyte. He's going to start setting up an expansion down here. And he's really close to big level ups. Impale or Crypt Lord level 4, DK level 2, Lich level 2. Those are all massive.
I feel like when Happy sees that expo, and he should be seeing it here because he has an illusion of a Death Knight, he's going to feel a lot of pressure. Because this army looks pretty strong. Again, the Lich was there so much earlier, and KraV is going to hit some big power spikes here. Yep. Level 4 Crypt Lord, level 2 Death Knight, so he finally has Unholy Aura. And Lich is close to 2 as well.
Sick level ups. One thing that seems to be kind of a concern here for KraV is his anti-air is pretty limited. 2 Fiends only, and not getting more. So dealing with Destroyers won't be easy, but they are sniping that one statue earlier. Such a big deal. Yeah. Happy only has the single statue with Destroyer form coming in right now. Sees the army, sees this mad frenzy of ghouls and beetles. Still has to wait for the Lich. Well, it's not finished yet. Comes out with the repair. Nice Impale to start things off. The first Fiend in trouble right away. Coil coming in, and now Happy has to kite like a young god. Both have plus 20% move speed, especially the Frenzy Ghouls are super fast with that. Dark Ranger falls back. Happy splitting in every direction, kiting back as much as he can. So far hasn't lost anything, but this is the first Fiend going down. Crypt Lord, by the way, still tons of mana with all these mana items on him. Fiend here getting saved, and Destroyers, they don't have web apparently. Destroyers still up in the air, not getting disabled by that web.
Yeah, it's on the way for KraV. It's midway through done. If that can come into play in the fight, yeah, that's going to help so much.
Are under attack.
And he kills the Dark Ranger. Level 3 as well. That's going to be so hard to replace. Lich is finally there for Happy, but it's only level 1 here. He's trying to kill as many Fiends as he can. Beetle still helping a ton. The Django and Mana Pendant paying dividends.
One Nova's coming in. Should be more dispels here ready soon. The Destroyer endlessly has mana, so actually that damage output is quite impressive because of all these dispels. But now the mana is pretty much gone. No more Impales after this one. One more Fiend will go down, but now it's hard to find kills against Happy. Oh, puts the item on the ground, the parry up here for better healing. Actually does get that Fiend. Not quite. Happy saves it into the back. That was an okay fight, a pretty even exchange, but most importantly, KraV now has the expansion, which I'm not sure that it's been scouted yet.
Yeah, I think it was. But I mean, what can Happy do? Like, there was his opponent in his base. He had to defend. How does Happy react now? Like, does he expand himself? Does he go top left? KraV is never really teammate at this stage in the game as well. Like, a lot of players, they would say, oh, I have an expo, you don't, so I'm just gonna, like, you know, sit back and let my advantage pay off. No, he's ready to get into almost any fight that he sees. He might even just go for the creep in the top left. Like, worst case scenario, if he gets attacked in the bottom right, he has to decide whether he TPs or unsummons, but I just don't see it. Like, the positioning as well at the expo is so good. Necropolis at the front, Nerubian Tower slightly behind, and I guess they're gonna fight for that top left-hand side camp, but that expansion of KraV is just so important here for him to get a way bigger army than Happy.
This camp is really important. The item and the experience. KraV's triple hero combo scales like crazy. The Dark Ranger has already started falling off. She doesn't have a big AoE ability or aura or healing. Silence and Skeletons are okay, but they're not insane in the late game. And this is where playing Dark Ranger over Lich second can come as a bit of a problem, as a bit of a liability. Nice Impale to start things off. Destroyer Morph to save the statue. Or to morph it, I guess.
The Dark Ranger just came back out, but KraV got the engagement just before that happened here.
Lich hits level 2 for Happy. Full mana, by the way. Nice Silence coming out. Well timed, they can still make a big difference. And the Lich got coiled or something, somehow healed up again. Happy keeps his third hero alive, saves it into the back, chasing after more Fiend kills with the aura. Might be able to get it, but lots of these Fiends also super hurt. A Nova here for KraV could lead to a triple kill. DK gets to level 5 actually, that's pretty damn fast. But the level 3 coil isn't even that helpful. On Destroyers, okay, but those don't seem to be getting touched too much.
Yeah, Lich had to go all the way back home and actually bought a mana pot here. That I guess it's going to be bringing to the Death Knight, but KraV, if he kills one unit, if he kills the Fiend, he's going to get Death Knight level 3, and that's going to be a big power spike. Lich is close to 3 as well. He's trying to pressure, basically, by attacking the creep and saying to Happy, you got to engage into me now, but he's going to get the Magnator before Happy can get in position.
Level 3 level up and the big item as well. Legion 2-1 doesn't do too much for him, but he's saving the Lich there with the coil. DK for Happy, very deep in, but he does survive. The focus is pretty tanky with that ring, I suppose.
Oh, the Death Knight is zoned out. The Death Knight is on the left. This is such a tricky fight for Happy to manage here. I think KraV's just gonna turn and kill those Fiends on the right side. Lich getting targeted. Can he coil? Oh, there's no mana, so he's just gonna TP out.
Still some Beals alive over here. Happy lost... Did he lose one more Fiend or did he coil it? I'm not quite sure. Hard to keep the overview for us as observers and for the players even harder. But KraV now high up in supply. 67. This expansion. The early game creeping, the fast level 3 on the Crypt Lord expanding behind it. KraV is not going into a straight up one base game, and this is doing him a lot of favors with a smart delayed expansion, not going for the fast expo that Happy was expecting, but rather a mid game one. And now crazy strong heroes. 4-3-3. KraV is reaching maximum power.
Ooh, KraV just coiled something, even though he had only like the mana for one single coil, so his Death Knight would start the fight with 0 mana here almost, if he was to go for a fight. He does have way more army, and the mana potion on the Crypt Lord is very scary. He could Impel, drop the pendant, then use mana pot and Impel a bunch more.
There's a big mana pot in the shop, in the marketplace. There's claws plus 9, buys them. They're pretty expensive, but KraV has 600 gold, so yeah, why not?
He can just sit there and keep buying items. Rejuvenation potion of the Death Knight, very, very nice. Oh, he bought the greater mana.
I think that's a good idea. 400 gold, not so cheap, but he's got the gold.
All right, Happy, this is it. He didn't expand.
He just forces are under attack.
He morphs his destroyers. I mean, it's Happy, right? Like, I don't think we would even be that surprised, but he does feel like he's quite a bit behind. 72 supply to 62. Lots of destroyers on both sides. Here we go. This is the fight. Can Happy out-micro his way out of this one?
Waiting for the impales. They should be massive. Hits one right there. And here the AoE comes in from KraV. He's got 2 AoE abilities with Impale and Nova, and that's so powerful. The Dark Ranger, Silence, and Skeletons, what do they do against all these destroyers? The Lich, though! That's the weakness exposed! KraV didn't have a coil in time or an invul to save his third hero, the Lich. Now doesn't have an orb anymore. It is an absolute brawl here between the two, both losing many units. KraV drops down in supply to less than 60. No way, Happy. Is he doing it with the hero kill out of nowhere? The DK getting impaled. He's in trouble. Has the invul. Frost armor even coming in. Helps him out a little bit. And it's pure destroyers. We are back to 2010 meta, boys. Just destroyers against destroyers.
Yeah, KraV might need to disengage here. I mean, there's no fiends left to really web those destroyers. He's still choosing to fight, even though he doesn't have Orb of Corruption because his Lich is gone. He already remade it. There was 3 skeletons in the bottom right for the Dark Ranger that worked on the Nerubian Tower, but KraV eventually repaired that, but he forgot to start mining again. Okay, there we go. He didn't have to take this fight, to be honest. He had Expo up. It's just, he was probably confident. But you shouldn't be confident when you're playing against Happy. You should have just sat back. He has Expo, Happy doesn't. Second crypt on the way now for KraV. And he's transitioning into Gargoyles?
Alright, I mean, that might work against
A player's forces are under
destroyers,
attack.
but against Lich is also dangerous.
I guess he has spells to deal with fiends. Impale, Nova. And then he wants to be able to deal with the destroyers after that some way, because obviously they don't attack one another.
Yeah, it's really weird this state in the game when everyone's just massing destroyers, and you have to ask yourself, well, does it make sense to make anything else, or is everything other than destroyers just gonna get destroyed by nukes?
Skeletons in the bottom right again. Happy doing a fantastic job. I think KraV should just run there and camp for a bit.
You could also park one destroyer there. I think you could afford to.
That's experience that he can get, by the way, the skeletons.
A player's
Plus
forces
mana
are
for the
under
destroyers.
Upgrades, by the way, 1-0 for Happy. For KraV, it's gonna be 2-0. Only 2-0. I feel like he could have been able to fit in more upgrades until now. Alright, off we go towards the hero right away. DK in trouble with a Nova. He might be dead! Lich doesn't quite have the mana for the Nova. Now he does! But the DK is slightly out of range. Comes back into range. It's all about hero focus at this point, as you can't kill the destroyers anyways. Impale, focus. That is the kill. Seems like the game. It is GG and 1-1.
Whoop, that was quite a fight here. Considering he had Expo the entire game. Ooh, Happy almost fought his way out of this one. The Lich out of position for 1 second, and that's it, you get punished. His micro is always going to be better than yours. That's the way to beat him. You play an unconventional style with another hero, you find a way to expand, and then you just outdo him from there because you have a much bigger army. But even with 10 more supply in that fight, Happy still almost made it. That's how scary he is.
Super crazy. Super cool to see that KraV in his first major tournament is taking a map off of Happy. He got his nerves together. He played a different map. He knew, okay, this is gonna be my map. He played his style, not super greedy with that Expo, but with a lot of thought behind it. He crept first, made sure he has Impale, got some items, get the army started. And that brings us to a final game 3. We give the players a little time to breathe. We give you some time to get new snacks and drinks. And then we'll be right back after this break with a decision in Group C. It's Happy vs. KraV. And just like that, we're back with a decision match in Group C. Happy 1, KraV 1. Who would have thought that going into today, Remo?
I mean, we have kind of pointed out that Happy has been struggling, if we want to call it that, against KraV. He has been losing some maps against X-Lord, and now we see it here against KraV. Definitely the two strongest KraV players. And man, it's a devious hero, that KraV. If you lose sight of him for a few minutes, if you lose track of him for a little bit of the early game, suddenly he's level 3 and then the beetles come in and you just seem to be on the back foot the entire time. And KraV played really well with the strength, with that power spike of the KraV, making sure he gets ahead in economy, getting ahead of Happy, getting away from the straight up one base game to have a chance in the fights. And even then, it was still close.
All right. The winner of this will face the winner of Blade versus Sonic. We've seen Happy versus Blade plenty of times in the ESL Open Cups. Maybe it is time for a change. What a weird picture that would be if Happy drops to the lower bracket on day 1. KraV is ready. Probably got a break in as well. Ready for the admins to start. And then it's time for game 3. Oh boy, I'm pretty exciting. There's a little surprise in the air, if you ask me. If KraV has a good start into the game, we saw it at the end. Like, if it comes to the big fights, Happy is not unbeatable with this build, with his Dark Ranger second. But alright, the last map, the deciding map, is Last Refuge. And once again, we're loading into it. And here we are. In the bottom left, the Emperor. It's Happy. His opponent one map away. In the upper right, in the red, it's KraV. Have fun, boys. Game 3 hype.
All right, off we go. Ghoul build by KraV. No surprise here. It is once again going to be a KraV very likely. And Happy going again for the Ted Fiend opening with a DK. He had been playing a bit of Lich trying to counter the KraV, but seems like now he's moving away from that option.
Yeah, and I mean, with the way game 1 went, I can totally see it. In game 2, I feel like we should kind of like recap what made KraV be able to do so well. He sneaked away from the Death Knight. Like, Happy was so convinced there was going to be an expo, he stuck around the expo. KraV was like, no, actually, I'm going to fast tech and create my KraV to level 3. Happy didn't see it. And if you let that happen, that's, you know, I don't want to say an automatic loss, but it's almost like that. So on this map, and with Happy now being on notice, that's going to be much harder to do, right? Even if you go for the first green, I guess Happy's going to already be headed across the map. But because he's built the build of KraV, you still get a Death Knight, a KraV out pretty quickly. You can probably secure the entire green before the Death Knight gets there. But then after that is going to be the real challenge. How do you manage to creep more? Then again, on this map, you might not necessarily need to play similarly because the expo is still pretty easy to creep, thanks to also skeletons and beetles. So the plan might just be to go for an expo for KraV. Just do the small green, wait a little bit until it's night, and then go for the expo.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, expo here should absolutely be doable. Question is, how expensive is it going to be? While it is good to expand on, it's also good to pressure as the aggressive player, because you move north and look if he's expanding right away. And if he is not expanding right away, but is going for the first green outside his main, then he can still do something. You can still creep something. And I am kind of surprised to not be seeing Lich here, because this works so well with Lich. You bring Lich and Ghouls, and you creep the green High Priest camp right away super fast with Nova. That gets you very close to level 2. And that's how he demolished X-Lord, right, on Monday with that Lich play. But here it is the DK instead.
Yeah, by the time X-Lord finished creeping the expo, like, he felt like he was already like losing a lot and couldn't do much. But Happy, I think this build is also pretty good, where he just delays the take, gets a lot of fiends, gets the Dark Ranger second. I've also seen him have success in a lot of the games where he plays like this. Again, I really feel like Northern Isle was like kind of like a one-off, you know, where somehow level 3 was achieved. This time, did he put a sentry ward? He put it near the expo, so he didn't put one in middle. So he's not seeing those ghouls and beetles headed for his base. And there's an acolyte in there, ready to distribute headbutts like last time.
No tech going on yet. This sentry, perfect drop, by the way. It's so much hassle. Easily taken care of for Happy. Always going to know when there's an expansion, if there's going to be an expansion coming up. And yeah, we see... Oh, starts off with a surround. Can't save the acolyte.
He's getting a spirit tower. There's still 2 rod charges for KraV. He goes for that first before more beetles. There's so many beetles already.
A town is under siege.
Can he get more acolytes here? That's the question. And KraV's taking in the meantime. He just started tech.
Oh, and he gets the surround, this time for real. And this one can't be saved.
Happy's gonna have to call the acolyte. Does it still die? No, it's out.
Okay.
And KraV's gonna creep his expo. The expo of Happy.
This is important for Happy to realize and to come in to harass. Don't let him get level 3 so easily again. It seems like Happy does realize it. With the coil, he's trying to stay out of range, kind of. But with the sentry, he sees what's going on. Oh, nice impale to ensure the last hit. Oh, it was kind of close there.
Yeah, Happy could have gotten it if he coiled. Didn't want to risk it.
But that impale matters. That means that the Crypt Lord is going to have very low mana for quite some time. Until he has mana potions. Which is not too far away as the tech is progressing.
Wow, he coils a skeleton. Wants to make sure that the Crypt Lord doesn't get additional experience. Happy with the surround of his own.
Does it keep it close? Just barely.
And the Crypt Lord cannot even walk through doors anymore. Kind of like me. You need to go on a diet.
A player's forces are under attack.
But what do we think about this decision to not fast expand?
I think it's good.
He could have pulled it off.
Yeah, but honestly, if you look at how Happy is strong against this kind of builds, even on maps where it's easy to creep, like against X-Lord, he just looks so good in some of those games. It's really hit or miss, basically. He chose to go for the main base. Sadly, Happy spotted it, but KraV kind of salvaged the situation. And now look at this. He's getting level 3 somewhat quickly. He's just going to play it similarly to last game, I think. He's just going to delay the expo, and then once he has any sort of advantage is when he's going to take the expo. But, like, I mean, look at Happy's take. It just started. Like, the one of KraV is close to finishing.
Wow. That's crazy late.
And Happy lost the scent of KraV now. So he shows up kind of late. KraV, can he get a surround? No, he's just going to evacuate. Doesn't have enough units just yet.
Is he going to go for that mana pot right away? Seems like it would be a smart idea.
I think he could just tech straight to tier 3. Yeah, get Death Knight. Exactly, he does that. Death Knight, tier 3. Slaughterhouse most likely coming up shortly behind this.
Yeah. Happy knows, though, even without level 3, he is pretty strong right now with the aura, with just the range nature of Fiends. He could take a fight against ghouls pretty well, as long as he doesn't get impaled like crazy. He's going to take the natural away here from his opponent. Is that level 3? It's close. I think it's not quite enough.
Yeah, I think he gets it, no? These guys are like deceiving. They give a lot of XP, actually. The Beetles are going to do an attack on their own. Oh, yeah. Ooh. 3 XP missing.
Close.
What do you target with the Beetles?
So it's important here not to get a Acolyte kill, especially. And the DK is home this time to deal with the Beetles. Wants to take him out with the dust, but that's so much space for the Crypt Lord. He knows where X-Lord is, where Happy is, excuse me. And with that knowledge, could easily go for the Merc camp here across the map. That's big experience for his DK and Crypt Lord.
I'm surprised KraV didn't creep more. Like, if he had realized that Happy was creeping his expo, he could have just gone for the shop like way quicker. But maybe he wanted to wait for the second hero as well, which can be like, there's a big incentive to try and power level that Death Knight straight to level 2.
Wound bracers. Alright for the DK, especially if this matchup should once again devolve into pure hero focus in the late game with destroyers, which could happen. High Fiend count for Happy though. And now he's level 3 DK.
Yeah, Book of the Dead.
Book of the Dead. Yeah.
it's almost, there's like, the first thing you ask yourself when you get a Book of the Dead is, do I attack? In this case, I think he's gonna creep and then just use that if he needs to fight at some point. This game, yeah, not going for the Dark Ranger, just going for the more standard Lich. I wonder what third hero he would get then. I guess just regular Dark Ranger. It's tricky against Cryptlord. He's such a different hero than anything else that we've had before. Played as first. Goes for the Acolytes. KraV is almost tier 3, but he's going to lose one of those Acolytes instantly. Ghouls are going to start falling left and right.
Yeah, great attack by Happy. The tier 3 upgrades for KraV haven't kicked in yet. These Ghouls are still vulnerable, so are the Acolytes with the book. Takes out one Ghoul, almost two. Takes out an Acolyte as well. This is expensive. KraV has to walk back. This also prevents him from creeping. This is a great attack, serving many purposes.
Yeah, KraV really needs to pull back those Ghouls properly. There is a statue trying to help out. But KraV wasn't mining fully for a second. He used to start some Acolytes. He made sure he started the Lich before that. He wants to rush that, but yeah, Happy is gonna make the right choice, I think, seeing that KraV's back at home and steal the item and then run away.
With this being a big map, Cryptlord 3rd could even be viable for Happy. But I've never seen him do that in Undead Mirror. It definitely has a big downtime. You need to level him up first.
Yeah.
But if you get him to 3, it can be very strong. This is by far the strongest late game tri-hero undead combo with DK, Lich, Cryptlord. Or rather, with Cryptlord first, then DK, then Lich.
I think he's gonna Dark Ranger most likely. It's just small standard, he's used to it, macros it really well. And then you're just forcing destroyers from the opponent to deal with it. And then that's when the micro kicks in even more, because then the opponent needs to control the fiends properly with the web and target. KraV grabs the orb. He just finished researching Destroy Form and he already has 2 statues. On the other side, obviously, we're still not even tier 3 just yet. The second statue is on the way for Happy. The one good thing that he has going for him is that he's got a lot of fiends, like always. But the red's being crept so fast with those beetles here by KraV.
Yeah. If you move off the Destroyer, you can creep this entire camp super quick. Just keep some statues for now. Helm of Valor. One of the worst items. It's okay-ish for the Cryptlord. But not quite Crown of Kings.
Strength and agility. Looks like Happy's at it for the other red. Gets spotted by a beetle here.
Oh,
there is some incentive for KraV to run right across the map and try and prevent that. He doesn't have a TP, by the way. If KraV finds himself... like, wait, is he actually going to attack the main base without a TP? The absolute madman.
I think he's going to steal the Merc away.
Yeah. I think he realized that by the time he gets across the map, most of the red will already be gone. And Happy keeps finding claws, by the way. Claws plus 12 and plus 6 on the Lich.
I think KraV really shouldn't be creeping with Cryptlord here. You waste so much experience on this level 4 hero.
Second Rune Bracer.
Alright. This hero's quite protected now.
He's got an Ank as well. Web being researched for Happy. What is KraV gonna target? Oh, Death Knight's gonna get 3. For KraV on the other side, Happy pull back the Death Knight, which is already level 4. Lich getting close to 3. He finds another claw. Oh my god. Plus 29.
Keeps happening, doesn't it?
That Lich would kill an Archmage in 4 hits.
Well, it's gonna need a few more for all these beetles. Or perhaps that's where the destroyers are gonna come in.
Oh my god, the statue in middle. Oh, it's gonna die!
The last couple of shots.
Welcome to the game.
Still no destroyer by Happy?
Ooh, that's Lich level 3 here. Nice dust.
Very big deal. This Lich is a monster.
A player's forces are under attack.
Yeah, Happy just completed Destroy Form. He's already gonna morph 1. No upgrades just yet, but he's got plus 1 about to finish. Actually, they're gonna finish at the exact same time for both players. Cryptlord on full mana. He's got the Ank. He put the second Rune Bracer on the Lich. Not quite on the Cryptlord. Maybe because he's already got the Ank. And he can't get covered, obviously, at the front.
I think that's good. They're all protected. But KraV needs a heal scroll if he actually wants to fight. Otherwise, these ghouls are just gonna vanish.
KraV broke upkeep, as did Happy. He's gonna hit the main base. Again, he still doesn't have a TP, but he's counting on Happy being far away from his base. He wants to force the TP. Where does Happy use the town portal here? Maybe under his main base where it's safe.
Ring of Regen in the late game. not really a factor. So here we go. TP coming in. He wait for the ghouls to come in deeper. Impale can always punish an aggressive TP. And Impale hits really well. Off we go into the big fight. Nova connects as well to follow up. Heal scroll. I'm not sure if there was one. Destroyer's getting webbed and getting focused right away. The Fiend count here certainly in favor of Happy. Defensive calls coming in, and a nice Impale from the Crypt Lord. He is making use of his mana pretty quickly. No beetles at all, only the Impales. Nice Nova there as well. Happy keeps one of the Fiends alive. Happy has more supply very clearly than KraV, who's dropping down to only 39 left. His heroes are still alive, but the army is vanishing around the French undead player, and Happy is saving his Fiends. One to the right, one to the left. Once again, the Immaculate Kiting is being presented. One more Impale to say goodbye, trying to surround this Crypt Lord. He gets away, or does he? Nova, follow up, chase, and trying to surround, but it's hard with Fiends. This fight clearly goes to Happy. KraV, without an expansion, still doesn't seem to stand a chance.
Yeah, that Crypt Lord is completely out of mana. Happy's trying to seal the deal. He almost has a Nova here. That Lich is ready to hit hard yet again. Trying to get ahead of the Crypt Lord, actually, to block him off. Not gonna quite be able to get it. And KraV has to run home.
Are under attack.
42 supply now.
Crazy strong hero levels for Happy. He's about to hit 5, 4, 3. He's got a lot of resources. He could expand right now, probably.
And that's Death Knight 5 here, this Forest Roach High Priest.
And just you wait for that level 4 Lich, dude. It's gonna go up to 34 intelligence, man. Pretty
If
crazy.
it wasn't scary enough on level 3 with all these claws, level 4 will do it.
A player's forces are under attack.
Gonna have more than 70 max damage per hit. That's pretty crazy.
I think maybe KraV should try and go home and camp. Like, obviously he's incredibly behind, and Happy will even secure the last camp up on the map. Ooh, KraV. Still moving out. 47 supply. He's getting +2 attack on the way right now.
That would
Happy.
be technically a creepjack opportunity. But I don't know if you want to go in against this army.
Yeah. You're not trapped in here with him. If you're Happy. He's trapped
One
in here
Impale
with you.
hits nicely. But that was the only one. We're going for the Destroyers right away again. Nova follow up as well. The Lich for KraV was finally level 3. Healscroll would have been great for Happy. Some of his Fiends are going down. But it seems like once again he's taking out more of the enemy side. Nova's hitting. Mana being expended on both sides. Silence coming in as well as Destroyers are starting to get taken out. KraV has 3 Fiends left. 4 Fiends, excuse me. But statue still for Happy. That's where the sustain is coming from. And now KraV is out of mana, out of chances, and out of this game. GG, and Happy does win it. But KraV puts up a good fight.